Good morning, friend. This is Jeff Arcos. Welcome again to the daily webinar. Today we are Friday, the 10th of the 1st of 2020. Remind you this webinar is not meant to be a financial advice to anyone. This is only an education presentation. Please consider term and condition. Before you continue, send when you're receiving this recording. As well, thank God for another day into my life and I pray His blessings today. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so ready to start today. Remind you today, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Greg, Shane, sorry, we'll have a live webinar about the 4 hours trend trader. We all received that the new EA, so please come to those who received the recording. Come today at that time to listen about the exciting of the new EA. All right. So okay, following that, we continue with that. Oh, Francis is gone. It was a guy called Francis there. So, all right, and so yeah, that's meeting time today, 3 p.m. So make sure to turn up for that one there to see what happened. All right, the news says we got the non-farm payroll today at 10:30. Retail sales with Australia. Not much. I think it will affect our market. This week is very unsettled. Normally, the first Friday, the month, things are a bit, settled. There's nothing more of that. So let's have a look now. What do we have for this week? Not really much happened. The beginning of the week, we got a beautiful setup over there, and as I normally say, we normally wants to wait a pullback. Beautiful monthly support resistance over there, and everything. The yen was very strong this at the beginning of the week, as the weekly is telling us over there. So everything will come down. We picked the best top currencies that we could, and that was the result. So 64 pips is going with the New Zealand yen, which is the first currency to run. Same with the Australian yen. So I think we wait for a pullback, and the Australian yen is still alive, so still fighting there. So maybe we're gonna have some luck from there. All dependent today to move over there. Yeah, big moves, but that's how it normally happens sometime. Then we have the euro yen, beautiful setup, beautiful resistance, break of the trend line. Always the first break is a high risk trade. That's normally you can't escape from it, because when you have a break of a trend line, you already have days, 2, 3, 4 days, and the market could be exhausted by the time that you try to look for an entry. So that's what retracements normally. It is a good way of sometime waiting for those trades to happen, and that it is. The retracement was over here. The midline connect you over there, and 27 pips got into that. So set. So if I would have set up here, I never would have be entered into the trade anyway. So that's the lack of trading. Pound yen, a beautiful resistance on the monthly. So we have an ABC on the weekly as well. So, and again, already few moves down that way. So and again, at the beginning of the week, we're looking for the pullback over there. So was definitely a good back, but the market decides to do differently. So that's it. So the weekly was quite weak, and but that's what it is. Okay. So nothing more that we can do about it. That's trading, and that's the US yen, the same. We did have, as I say, this was normally a risk when you try to get that, but what can we do? In the market, got over here, right in the midline. So luckily that I got the first midline touch, put in the fractal, 26 picks gone, and then the market now is changing direction. God knows what is happening for the next week. Okay, and that would be the end of our presentation. Very quickly, we got sort of bunch of bar there. Last week the same, it was, we're looking last week setups. We only, again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this week is not really much difference, but that's what it is. Sometimes it happen like that. As long as they keeping the, the that one there in place. Now let's review a little bit of no, let's take this one off, this one off, this one off. There. Let's review a little bit of or an overall, as it's being Friday, what do we see is going to happen right now? We are at the beginning of the month. Things it looks to me that is retracing. We got a nice breakout and an ABC over there. So we're looking. This is the 8th of the first. There's the U.S. did not come as a strong weekly. If we're looking over there, the U.S. actually was right over there. So we could not consider in that moment. Um, uh, so if we're coming at the beginning of the week, this is where we were. All right. So now this week is a turning point, and that could be a quite interesting for the next week. So and then we just need to look now for the next week where is going to be our opportunities. But here on the daily choice, it would be a trend line breakout. As I suggested, that could be a little bit faster the strategy. So now I'm waiting for a pullback from there, and that's it. So that would be. So the dollar is getting strong. The dollar last year was no a very good dollar after if you look in there, that's January over there. It was very, very, very crunchy for me. I'm looking, that is a break. Definitely, I'm looking for the short side in the monthly. So every chances of going short from here could be quite, um, looking in the major area. So if I look on the Fibonacci calculations over there, we got over here, and that would be our target, which is quite nice over there. If we maybe got the candle over here, and yeah, so that's target number one, target number two, and then based on this ABC. So that's what is based, that one there, and now it's pulling up again. So maybe it's coming back to that 50 levels possible, but we'll see what the dollar. This is on the big view, and the short view is we got a pullback over there. All right, so that's all it safe. Maybe we wait for the retracement, and next week, let's just say, is getting quite interesting where the dollar is going. So from that point on, so we're looking, the rest, the Euro, Pound, Australia, New Zealand going short, and there it is. So we got a short on already set up, but we are today Friday, and non-farm payroll is tonight. So are we wanting risk over there? That's sometimes could be a bit tricky, but we do have a quite nice level of support and resistance over there in the monthly. We have a breakout of the trend line, and there it is. We going on over there. So the pound as well, we're looking to go short. So it looks to me that it's possible there we did not have the pound is still in a it's in a negative but not a strong number. So that could sort of causes us not really. It's a nice level of resistance there where we are, and as well I can actually line up over there because that's a beautiful close setup that we have on there. So that's where we are. So keep an eye over here. Is the dollar going to have the winning side or no? We did have a shoulder, head and shoulder previously, so it seems like it's having problems to go through there. That's the monthly high, monthly low. So we are in the middle of the monthly over there. So this bar could be significant of what could happen. We need a good day down somewhere over here before we consider that trade over there. Aussie. So Aussie did have a quite incredible point up touch, come breaks, and it looks bearish today with this one. That looks to me is coming down, and Australia is not really on a bearish move yet, but here it's possible it's coming down from that the level that Australia was on the weekly on a short side. So that's where we are at the moment with that one. There is a trend line at the bottom of the Euro US supporting three lows for the 4 hours chat. So let's have a look at 4 hours. Euro US. Thank you for that, Helen. We're looking at 4 hours. Must be squishing there. So now we're looking at a quite long. Yes, definitely is bouncing from that line. So yeah, we'll just need to wait for a good date with the index to tell us at the moment this is where we are. We're here. Okay, but that's a quite nice observation. So hopefully see tonight what's happened. But so far the dollar, yeah, it looks like it wants to come up over there. We look in the daily, so that's where we are. Very difficult currency at the moment. The euro hasn't come an easy yeah way of trading. This one euro is being a bit complicated last year and this year. So okay. So all right, so that's where we are. So let's jump to the New Zealand. See what the New Zealand's presenting us. So that's a nice level of resistance. We got a break. Here it is now. New Zealand. It is very weak over there. So and today we have some kind of ABC, so retracement day down, and that could possible has a good run. Looking the New Zealand and the US is strong. So looking there, and there it is. New Zealand is just collapsing at the moment against the US, and that could be a good trade there, especially after the retracement. And there. Yesterday I was actually trying to look after I saw the dollar there. I was trying to figure out this one. So so yeah, so I think we're gonna learn more about the Z8 this afternoon, but I put it over there. I will not talk much about it, just gonna let Shane to go through all of these there. The presets they're coming over here, so I only decided to put the euro, as a golden rule, and that's it. So that was so if I put it there at my normal EA, so it will try to look for an entry, maybe there, 50 pips, short direction, 30, 60 pips, 300 target, that's okay. Break even on 100, maybe this one it doesn't need 100, maybe 50 is enough. And the Donchen midline, I normally like it for this kind of trades. That it is. So partial take profit 50. Maybe it's Friday 20% of that, and then the rest stays there. So we'll have a look at that one there. But it's a nice. So from the beginning of the week, there was a bearish, and if we look at New Zealand, was one of the weeks there. But the US was not helping us with that decision. But this one anyway was more weaker than that. So when we see that, we're looking even from Tuesday, the market, the New Zealand started collapsing now. So we're looking Wednesday, Tuesday, the New Zealand. It was still in a sort of kind of a strength. It was actually Wednesday the 8th when things came down. So we're looking over here. 8 is there. So that's a nice ABC as well. So from that point, it could be taken. That's 8. All right, so not too far from where it's supposed to go, and that's it. So that's 70 pips stop loss maybe, and there we are. All right, so that was there, so quite nice, and we're looking over there right in the 8, so 6, 7, 8, which is there. It was the New Zealand just completely collapsing from there. Now Canadian is interesting. Well, the issue is going about Iraq and sorry, yeah, Iran and the United States. So that's normally Canadian is a currency that moves by the price of oil is too. This week it looks to me that we have a quite nice, interesting support level as we're looking over here in the monthly. So on the weekly is bouncing up. So we have a break, which I look, the break is always the first there. So any pullback from there and a new one up, it will be a very good decision to make that one there. So we'll see. So Canadian is still strong, but not really strong. So we want to see that one become very strong. Now, if the U.S. is strong and Canadian actually has some mild strength, so Canadian is being strong from another week, maybe this week, from the 16th of December. Canadian has gained points from there, and from there every week it just keep rising up. So maybe today we'll have another point up. Don't know, but the Canadian, and that was the reason we see this move. Canadian is being strong, so it's bringing down, 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 down from actually from here. So we'll see now where it finishes on Monday. That will be interesting to look at. The Swiss don't like it much, but anyway, so that's what it is. We got a sort of kind of break. We are on a sort of kind of support over here. The Swiss, as you see, if the monthly looks like that, imagine that the weekly. I don't really like much. Swiss is driven by the price of gold normally, and that's what it is. So Swiss is strong. So the US is strong as well. So this is when you see the two are strong, the market will consolidate from there. So possible we can just leave it alone, and that's it. All right, and that will be there. So euro now it's interesting now to see the US and the yen pairs. They diverging at the moment as the US is going up, but the yen is coming down. So normally we see these two index on the same strength, but not anymore. Now we got a big divergence. So what happened when the big divergence is next week? We'll see whatever it finishes. So we need to come and rely over here. So for example, at the beginning of the week, if we're looking over here, the yen was sort of kind of it settles there, and suddenly the yen finished higher. So that's what the reason I look the yen crosses this week. Now the US is until Monday. When we look at that. So I only crunch over there. Now, what is the interesting part is next week. If I look at these two index trading in the sort of kind of the same direction, but now they what is going to decide me whether I look at the US group or the yen group is where it's going to be positioned next week over here. So that is going to be very interesting. What the weekly candle close is going to tell us from there, and yeah, we can find trades from there. So at the moment, that's the break that we have, and it will be matter of waiting for the retracement day up, and there we are. So this is that sorry, that's the yen. As you see, everything it hasn't been very nice trade over there, but maybe next week it will be quite interesting to see this break fails. Now the market is finding a new break over there. It can very easy come and touch, but the next week definitely will be looking to go long with this one over there. Euro yen So same. So at the moment, everything with these currencies. Um, yeah, we did have a very good weekly on a very good resistance. So next week, I think we're gonna change the view of which direction we're looking. There we are. So 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks now. Things hasn't worked. So we're looking forward to the next week over there. So same with this one. And that's it. So let's look in the Euro Australia. Euro Australia is quite interesting. The monthly is very crunchy, consolidate. So when you see that, just the moment, sometimes would be better to wait for a good pullback. It's a difficult currency to trade at the moment, the Euro Aussie, and when you look the monthly, you might see why is that. Euro Canadian, we got a break. That's definitely that the break is there. I'm gonna be talking about retracements very soon, and locking and floating lines from there. So, but here I'm looking only one direction the market is coming, which is the short side, as you look at over here. Euro New Zealand is being coming down very heavy from when we're looking at here. Have a better one. When we're looking over there, so from right from that level, shoulder, head, and shoulder. Um, oh my goodness, there we are. No, can't get it. So shoulder, head, and shoulder is being quite interesting with this one. That's where we are now. So right over there, so that was, as we're looking over there, it was a lot of resisting, and from there the market has collapsed. So I'm gonna be talking about the power of retracement using the three-week setup. Helen, you remember the 3 week setup that we normally looking, and that it is. Pound crosses, they are big animals, I say so because they are very volatile, very hard to try this one. Sometimes you wonder maybe intraday would be the only good way to try. So same with the pound Canadian, it's a lot of resistance over there. It looks to me the wicks, was high in the top. To say this one can really run, very, very much. There's a high volatility. And this one over here, pound New Zealand, same. So that's the monthly high, monthly low, midpoint. Midpoint, the market is coming to the bounce to the midpoint. And yeah, we need to be looking from that. Let's look a little bit of gold, what gold is doing. So here we did have a sort of kind of support platform. We're looking from anywhere there, resistance, support. Weekly trend line. After that break over here, nothing has come down. This one continue holding the support, and every pullback it was good to go. Now that's a big pullback. It doesn't look very good on the monthly. I don't know if we have a historical resistance somewhere. If we're looking, that's the close of that. So double bottom over there, and that's where we are now with gold, and it doesn't finish quite nice. There's been a big run, Lord, from 11, even from this the bottom 1160. Now it's 1563. So that's has been in a big run. So I wanna look at the Fibonacci last run over there. So that's there. So that's the target number 1, and it hasn't reached the target number 2. When I'm looking to the next level over there, so I don't like when the market breaks like this one. That's what I take it, this pullback. But yeah, not very that would be the wrong place to take, but that's where what it is at the moment. So interesting to see next week what is going to happen with gold. Every time, gold normally flows with the Euro US. If you know about it, the Euro US normally follow these directions most of the time. Oil is interesting to observe. We got now this week is going crazy now. It's losing value. We have an incredible resistance on price on the $63 over there, and yeah, so it seems like a quite historical as well match with uh, with the previous levels over there. So we have a break. This is gonna be interesting. Dave is not here today. He loves oil. Dave from New Zealand, and it's gonna be interesting. The pullback towards that line, and here we have. So that's like I said, at the moment everything's supposed to oil going up. With every time war or rumors of war happen, normally that's the direction oil is taking off. But it looks like it's no. So it's been ranging from $50 to maximum of 66 for quite a while now, since April 2019 has been ranging from there without any long-term moves with oil. S&P 500 is unstoppable. It's continue on his rally. So was just waiting for a very good daily bar to just open a position, put the trade over there, looking for the 4 hours level, and putting a little bit higher the entry, and that's what it is. So when is the end of this one? We don't know. Listen up. But for sure, one thing we can know is that it's not going down. Um, I don't know. People still believe in the short these things. There's been um, a lot of put options. I believe for this one, keep piling up put options, and the premium of those put options would be a fortune. You know, when it's gonna come down. Don't know. It doesn't look like any come down, no matter where I look over here. Um, if there was my resistance is gone by now. Um, if that was the last big break up, we could say that still room to move. If this one was that the week that is going up, and after that it hasn't going anywhere else over there. So yeah, there's one thing is what you see, another thing is what you believe. So and what I see is nothing but it's responding. So I don't know now if the United States will enter in war with Iran, that we could see a big crash. Maybe that's what people I believe will still shorting this thing. At the end of the day, one day they're gonna be right. That's definitely it is, and but not now. So there now market Australian 200 is being a quite consolidated area over here. It looks to me it's following the same. Beginning of this week it was bearish, but as we know, S&P 500 normally dominates these kind of markets, and yeah. So here is presenting now a new opportunity for the first pullback day up, and that it is it's gonna be quite interesting to see that one there. The German market, same, is presenting with a new run, so next week will be a pullback, quite interesting, and the same. So maybe the Germans they're not doing too bad at the moment, as we see. They just continue coming, going up as we're looking over here. Okay, and the UK, with all the Brexit issues last year, um, it's really, we're looking over there. We got a sort of quite range um, scenario here, and there's no moving quite nice. So we got a break. So at the moment is everything looking, towards the buy. So today it actually is, or tomorrow, yeah, this afternoon bar would be a good bar for the futures there to go long from there. And then we got the JPM, same thing. So we got a break on the way down. So that's what the yen now is moving towards one direction. So next week, trend lines will be changing as the market, just change the direction. And we are. So that's what we have for this week. Actually the first week that the market, continue moves. Now I was talking before, about the three candles, the power of looking at the three candles and what it is. Normally, when we look in the weekly candle close, one thing that I always like to look, just going to expand this one a little bit more. One thing that I always like to look on the weekly candle close when when the index mirror present me with those opportunities is that I want to see one thing in particular. For example, on one and see like this week is quite obvious there, but if we're looking as the market move there, when that the weekly candle close is positive over there, um, one thing that I normally wants to see is if I have the three candles set up there. So this line is quite important for me because the price has closed about this trend line over there. So I'm looking two bars, the highs of two bars and the finish of the third bar. So if the index mirror is presenting us over there, it's actually presenting us with a very, very good opportunity to look for the retracement over there. And when you're looking at that and you're looking there, that kind of setups are the most powerful setups in the market. And from there, we need to plan break even when the market moves in your direction. We need to plan that the um, the target, which is right over there, and then the partial take profit that and then the 4 hours will get you out of from those areas over there, missing out. And then the market retrace, but it gives us again, that another another opportunities to continue going long over there. So when I'm looking at this, if I see that for me is good because this candle has break the trend line, like this one didn't. Yeah, this one would be on the assumption of this is the low high low low, but I did not have any break of that one over there. So then I move into the next week, move into here, and then I have a break. Now, if it readjusts over here, and I think you all know what I'm referring, what strategy really referring over here is about the golden candle. And almost really the first break is always the risky break. As I say, once the market has done this, the market tend to pull back, and there are cases there. But when we're looking at the golden candle, and I said, I'm waiting for that. That's what we have. So we of course by this time we would be break even if we calculate that the target, that's our target, and break even or the trailing stop will be there. It's 50 pips. Normally Euro US try to get 100, but that's how it is. So this one didn't, you didn't lose money, but as well, you didn't make money, but you didn't lose money either. So it's still in the winning side over there. Now we're looking 2 bars. Normally try to readjust the bars over there, and no, this is too far there, and I'm looking for that over here. So I might need to possible go over there. So so from here, I'm looking for a pullback and a day up, and that one is actually matching the ABC setup. All right. So until even that one over there is provide me with another setup as the market comes to the magic of the golden candle, and then the daily index meter is provide me with that opportunity. Where do I be looking from there? And you know, that's how normally the market works in those areas. So I'm looking there, and that's what I like it. Now from here, I can maybe yeah, it's hard to really know. It's hard to find the points that I'm looking to try. For me, this is the real point, and then looking right in this area for that date over here. So the market didn't know go the way they're supposed to retrace, but it went to the other side. Let's look another currency that is there. Now, normally when the market it moves on um, the fractals that we talked yesterday about is the first fractal that comes down. Normally you see that something is not right, and then the fractals are lower, 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 lower all this time, and here. So coming back to here, we're looking for 3 candles that the market will uh, give me that. So this week is still finished, quite lower, but from here we can see that the market there, waiting for the retracement, waiting for the index meter to point me into the right direction, as the market from this moment on is presenting us the market retrace, and then we have over there the market retrace, and then we have over here, and from there, on and on and on and on. So when we're talking about floating and locking lines, we've been saying, when do you decide not to move your trend line, or no, So one of the really strategies, this is a bit difficult, strategies is to, so when you are in this week over here, and you look in the bar has responded, break it a weekly trend line, and you look in this kind of setups like that, that's when you decide to take a risk, and because it's not going lower anymore, so we have a break, we have a retracement, and we have a date that is presenting us through through that. Right, so we're looking at that, and we're looking at this, and this is my setup. So right over here, so I will be waiting for maybe trade that one there, or waiting for the next come back to there to trade into that direction. We're looking 1, we're looking 2, and the third candle. So this kind of setups with a weekly candle close, when it comes like this one and you have the setups, now you see from the following weeks, the market did no actually order. So this line actually locks over here. So I have nothing more to do than to lock the line. Uh, it doesn't keep moving anymore, but the market locks this line. Now, sometimes we have retracements, sometimes negative retracement, sometimes we have the daily low just come down. So this is when you see that the market does no retrace. So always the first day the risk is the risk that, the higher risk, because you never know. But if you're patient enough, that is the risk. We got the weekly up, and that's the targets that we normally have. Now the beauty of this is only once a week that you can draw trend lines on the weekly. There is nothing more that you can do about that, and we got that weekly over here. So as you see, always the first risk, and that is, and then the market comes back to the golden candle. We're waiting for the index meta right over there. That's the July, I think 11th of July. I don't know if I have the 11th of July in here. Let's have a look. August and July 11. Oh, I went too far. There it is. It was Thursday. And we're looking, the New Zealand was very, very strong, and the euro, it was just with number one. So that's mean that New Zealand will drive the market down, and right over here, it was a nice move from that. But as you see, the market has break these weekly highs and weekly lows. Sorry, the market has pulled back. Come over here. The index meters tell us the right date to enter, and that it is. And the market moves from those levels on there. Australia and New Zealand is another example. And that's the three powerful candles over here. So if we look in November, 17th of November, and we're looking over here. So it must be not, yeah, this one, 18th of November. Look what Australia was and look what the New Zealand was. So when you look at this kind of a strength, and you come over there and you see that, and not only that, but you see this, what also it could happen from there. So that's the reality of that, and that's the run over there. Okay, so that's how really the market works, and from that moment, it has been quite nice. If you're looking where to set up your stop losses, the fractals are quite nice in the daily to set up the stop losses from there. All right, my friends, so I hope so that you like these ones, but the three candles, setups is normally a good way to looking. This is in August, and that is again. So if I put it, for example, there, still three candles, set up. There's that, and we're looking at that. It is August 2000. September, August. August was 11, so that's the 12th of August, which is here. So if you see here, the New Zealand now is very weak. With 125, Australia is only 28 weak, so I would be a bit cautious. So if you say no, this is not really good, you're waiting another week, which it didn't happen much by that week, so the 18th, so which will be here on the 19th of August. Now the New Zealand is weak, but the Australia is very strong, and that is the move. So yeah, it's just a matter of looking once a week, the power of the weekly, and from there any retracement is good to go. Any retracement, and then the daily, help us with add positions when the market retraces from there. All right, my friends, nothing more that we can say now. That hasn't been a nice week. Market is just playing some kind of games at the moment. So I guess non-farm payroll is coming now. I don't know with this all these Canadian, the Canadian. No, it's not Canadian plane, but 11 Canadian. I think it died today. Iran shoot at passenger planes, killing more than 160 people. So things can really will be very interesting to see what the dollar will do. Normally, I'm looking the gold and the dollar as the indicators to do that. So if gold is going up, normally the dollar is going down, but at the moment, it looks that both are going up. Have a nice weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. And please remind you, 3 o'clock today. Do not miss that webinar. Yeah, 3 to 4, where we're going to have a full explanation about the new EA that we have. I'm very excited for that. Um, and yeah, so that just come to that, because that's where we're gonna see all that that and explain. I think Shane will explain more in details the rest, but I think it's one of those things that is not should be missing, because you already have see the sets files that is in the EA as you there, and this if you one thing you notice in the set files that is here, there is no buy and sell. All right, so there is no buy and sell here. These set files are being proven already, the results that it says, and it's quite scary, the results. All right, so yeah, so that's quite interesting, So the optimization has brought up incredible results, looking the same thing that we're looking over there, and yeah, so I'm excited to see something that has been for quite a long time working, but now we have here with us. All right, so see you on Monday, and we see you again today at 3 p.m. Queensland time. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Francis, to be with us, and Greg and Helen, Rita, and